ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for all of your support. Thank you for everything. You know, particularly the past couple of weeks, people were very, very supportive, stepping up, you know, with big tips and stuff, and I appreciate that. If you would like to support my efforts to continue to do this, if you would like to see me keep my house, and this is a very, very realistic thing right now, if you would actually like to see me keep my house, all right, because right now I'm in a very big threat of losing it because of taxes that I cannot pay, all right, that are going to be due in April. So we're talking either a tax lien on the house, we're talking a payment plan that the government will probably force me into that I can't afford. We're talking big problems, all right? So if you want to see all this continue, you like the daily live streams, you like the content I put out on YouTube, you like the quality of the content that I put out in my studio office here, and you want to see all this continue, there are many ways that you can contribute that help out, all right? Allow me to describe some of them, all right? First of all, my Patreon at patreon.com/darksidephil, all right? Where your monthly pledges earn you personal perks, and those personal perks are various and you know, interesting. For example, you can get your questions answered on my bi-monthly Q&A show, Ask the King. And there's a new episode of that coming up in March. So if you pledge that certain perk level by the end of this month, you can get your questions answered on my Q&A show for sure in big elaborate detail. Pretty cool, right? Or you can get a private Q&A video made. Or you can get in on events where people nominate and vote on special games. For example, people just finished nominating some of the stuff that happened and that we watched back in my most recent retrospective event. Okay? So give it a look. Patreon.com/darksidephil. Thanks to everyone who supports via that method. I appreciate it. I also have a Teespring store where I sell merchandise like t-shirts and hoodies and the like. Good quality stuff. I can attest. I own a bunch of it myself. And I get a commission for the sales while you get a cool, high-quality collectible. So give it a look. But if you're actually here on the stream, all right, if you're actually here on the stream, live, and I say that because some people actually watch, they actually watch this as a, oh man, they actually watch this as a pre-stream on-demand video on YouTube. That's what I meant to say. Blah. So yeah, so if you are watching live on the stream and you would like to have some interactivity with me, all right, during today's stream, if you either cheer with bits, subscribe to the channel, or you tip me live, I will give you a shout out for said contribution. Now, keep in mind, it should be a positive shout out. I'm not going to take trollish messages and stuff like that. It's at my discretion what I read on the stream. But in general, it's a great way for you to get recognition for contributions or just to interact with me in general. If you have questions or whatever, it's a great way, all right, to get some attention on the stream. As you can see, I have a stream stats leaderboard at the top of the screen, and it covers total subs as well as the current top cheerer and top tipper. So if you are the current top cheerer or top tipper of the day, you will get visual recognition there live on the stream all day long, okay? And of course, as people, you know, top the last person who did the top cheer or top tip, they will be added up there as well. I want to talk a little bit about the sub goal this month. All right, sub goal is in effect. People have been asking for one. We got one. If we get 525 subscribers at any time by the end of this month, I will be doing another retrospective special event, much like the one I just did on Wednesday. You know, vlogs. This time around, I'll probably try to include way more gameplay because the last time we did almost none. Okay. I think it'd be a great event. Another one, another great day of just kind of chilling and having fun and watching back and looking at the past and laughing and relaxing and reacting and just having a good time. Okay. So, how can you make it happen? Subscribe to the channel, all right? Subscribe to the channel. All the great benefits you get from being a sub, including all the emotes. I believe at this point we have 35 or more of them. You get a cool chat crown badge that shows how long you've been a supporter. You don't have to watch advertisements when I take ad breaks. You know, all these things are great positives. So please consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks to everyone who is a current sub. Let's get it going. Let's try to get back up above 500 subs. Okay? Alrighty then. So that it, holy crap. Well then. Well, folks, I was just about to say, let's start doing some shout-outs. I was just about to say that. Let's do some shout-outs. And as I was about to say that, Jad F just gifted 29 Tier 1 community subs. A group subbing. A massive group gifting of subs. Thank you very much to Jad F for the gifting group. So now we're up to 30 new subs today, I believe. What I'll do in just a moment, I'll confirm that, okay? But what I'm going to do is let's get to shout-outs. Let's actually start doing shout-outs. And I will congratulate everyone who's just gifted a sub. And we'll go from there, okay? All right, so first of all, overnight, I had a couple people who contributed. We had Suprit86, who subscribed to the channel with Twitch Prime. Thank you, Suprit, for the sub. Genetic Gamer cheered and asked if I saw an email with a new emo. I don't think I did, quite frankly. I don't think that I saw any email with a new emo. So, if you indeed did, excuse me. If you indeed did submit an emo, and I didn't see it, what I would suggest, instead of doing that, post it up on the forums. On thekingofhate.com, there's a thread there where everyone posts up their submissions for emotes and the like. Please post it up there. Then I'll be able to see it a lot clearer, and I'll decide if it's something that I want to implement or not. All right? Sometimes, it's a problem if you send me an email with an attachment, it'll go right to my spam filter, and that's more than likely what happened here. Okay? All right, shout out to Johnny Cash, who tipped me $1. And I think he's trying to attempt to call me a hypocrite here. I'll bear with it. I'll read what he says, and I'll respond directly. He says, in one of your previous pre-streams, you once said not giving a game a fair shake and just shitting on it would be so ridiculous, immature, and invalid criticism. I was wondering why you're doing this for new games like Crackdown 3 and Far Cry. I'm not. There's a difference between just shitting on a game and not giving it a fair shake, or taking what you've seen and what you're hearing from a wide variety of sources as input into making a judgment of whether or not you actually want to buy a game. Allow me to explain. If there was a bandwagon of hate for a game, and it just seemed like a bandwagon of hate for the sake of being a bandwagon of hate, which I've seen happen many times before, in gaming journalism, in just gaming in general. Let's hate on this game because it's cool to hate on this game and say that it's bad. All right. Then that's wrong, okay? But if you hate on a game because the game has flaws, the game is known to have bugs, errors, to be, with objective criteria, a game that's stacked up against other modern games is not as good as what you would expect from a full purchase, that's a fairly different comparison. So, I guess I'll give you a few examples. All right, I'll give you a few examples. Fallout 76 was completely shat upon when it released. All right, even though it's a Fallout game, and most Fallout games get mainstream coverage and mainstream, positivity, this one did not. The game was launched rife with bugs, issues, bad performance, no NPCs whatsoever. The game basically is an empty wasteland where all you do is shoot shit and grind, and it's bug-filled, and it's not very entertaining. All right? Everyone jumped on the hate bandwagon and panned the game. That's okay, because the reasons it was panned were objective reasons. Okay? Actual objective reasons why a game did not get any kind of, love from the gaming community. All right? Now, compare that with Metro Exodus. The reason Metro Exodus is getting negative attention is because the creators of the game decided to pull it from Steam for PC distribution and instead only make it available via the Epic Games Store. They realized it would make them more money and, ultimately for their company it would be a better option. Okay? And PC gamers went nuts about this. Oh my god, I already pre-ordered on Steam. I wanted to preload on Steam. And then basically caused this big cacophony of drama that had absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with the actual game, period. The quality of the game has nothing to do with this situation. Yet you had thousands of PC gamers saying, we're boycotting Metro Exodus, we're not playing Metro Exodus. It's like, but that has nothing to do with the game. So you see the difference? You see the absolute difference here? Quality of a game versus drama around a game are two completely different things. Okay? Now, In the situations of games like Crackdown 3 and Far Cry, I actually kind of was open to both games. All right, Far Cry New Dawn, from everything that I saw, looked like Far Cry 5. And the fact that the game was released only 1 year after Far Cry 5 makes me feel this is not a full-on game. It's just not. What this is, it's Far Cry 5, same exact gameplay mechanics, same exact, assets, reskinned to have an updated plot, continuing from the plot from last year's Far Cry 5, to make a quick buck. Let's really use the same exact assets, slap on a tacked on new story to try to release the same game twice and make more money, so that way we can make more money off of minimal work, okay? That's what I thought it was from everything that I had seen. Crackdown 3, I had no idea what to expect, simply because I never played Crackdown before, all right? But, Terry Crews brings some height, and, is the game going to be good? Who knows? So, the reviews came out a few days ago. Most people said exactly as I thought. Far Cry New Dawn is Far Cry 5. If you liked Far Cry 5 and you're not burnt out, you'll probably like the game. But it even apparently has the same exact NPCs. The same NPCs. They didn't even make new characters. It's the same fucking NPCs. They didn't even bother to make new characters for the game. That's pretty bad. So, it's exactly what I expected. And I said, well, that's why I wanted to skip it, right? Crackdown 3 apparently is an outdated, buggy, wonky mess. It feels like an early Xbox 360 game, which apparently is actually what it was supposed to be, because this game was in development for a while, got delayed for a long time, and now it's finally coming out, for Xbox One, when in reality it was supposed to be an original Xbox 360 game, and apparently it's very, outdated. It doesn't have modern stuff in it that you would expect. And people are like, well, if you just like running around throwing cars and blowing shit up, the game's pretty fun, but it's incredibly repetitive and grindy, and unless you're okay with that, the game sucks, okay? Now, you see what I'm saying here? The difference? Drama versus objective facts, okay? If there was a game completely being panned by the game journalists for stupid reasons, it had nothing to do with objective facts about the game, I would say, yeah, that's bullshit. That's shitting on it just to make a bandwagon approach. And I have seen this with gaming journalism before. Absolutely, I have. And there's been times when I'll read a review and I'll hear things that supposedly are objectively bad about a game, and I'll be like, that doesn't sound bad to me. In which case, I'll try said game, and the game ends up being a success. All right? So it all depends. It all depends on many factors. In this case, being that I am in a situation financially where I'm not very well off at all, I'm in a very bad financial situation, quite frankly. Okay, just being very honest with all of you. And I'm at a point where I know that I have to pick and choose what games I play, because, simply put, I don't have the funds to be buying, 4 games in one day, out of which only 1 is good and 3 I play and don't really like. So I have to basically pick and choose. And in a lot of cases, this is a wait-and-see attitude. Like, I picked Metro Exodus and I picked Jump Force. I felt these would be the 2 games that would fit my stream style and my audience more than the other games that were available as new releases at the time, okay? So I had a wait-and-see attitude. I certainly didn't write off and say, I will not play Crackdown 3 and I will not play Far Cry New Dawn. I waited to see what other people had to say about them, all right? And now, here we are on Saturday, so those games are out, and people have told me who bought them, yeah, Phil, you know what? Those opinions are correct. These games are not very good in this regard or that regard, and you probably shouldn't play them, so I'm going to skip them, Same thing with the Resident Evil 2 DLCs. Like, there was 3 free Resident Evil 2 DLCs released yesterday called the Ghost Survivors. I was pumped for them, to the point where I even said, yeah, I'll probably play them. I'll put them on my schedule. Come to find out, they're exactly the same as the 4th Survivor mode in Resident Evil 2, where you play as Hunk. He's an Umbrella agent, and you're given limited resources to basically do a survival run through not only the sewers, but also through the mansion and try to survive. They're exactly the same. Like, they didn't even change it. It's the same thing. You're just going through different areas of the map. Same premise with these survivors. There's 0 story. It's incredibly boring. It's only for people who absolutely want to monstrously challenge themselves with survival runs. Outside of that, there's no point in playing them. So that's something I was hyped for, and I'm not playing. There's no point. It's not going to be entertaining, you know. Um, so there you go. There you go, folks. That's the deal. That's the difference. There's a difference between jumping on a bandwagon for the sake of being a bandwagoner and being, oh man, I gotta agree with the common opinion of everyone else that such and such a game is bad. Or on the flip side, that such and such a game is so great, it's the best game ever. I have to jump on the bandwagon versus actually having objective facts weighed and balanced to determine whether or not a game is worth playing or not. That's the difference. But Johnny Cash, from your message, it seems like you don't understand that diversion there. Like you don't even think there's a difference. You either think you 100% ignore gaming media and what others say about games and play them for yourself, or you 100% believe what everyone has to say. That's not the case. As I said many times, for the mature-minded person, the world is not black and white. The world is many shades of gray, and you have to find the right situations to weigh and balance facts with opinions and to make informed decisions for yourself. This is what a mature adult does. And it seems to me via your messaging, you don't have that capability. For you, it's black and white. It's one or the other. It's all one way or all the other way. That's not how life works. Okay? That's not. And once you finally realize that as you get older, and you will make much better decisions in your life. But, you know, from what you're doing, you're trying to basically call me out and call me a hypocrite when in reality, all it does is shows your own immaturity. So, thanks for the tip. Okay, then. All right, so now we start with people who contributed during today's actual stream. We started out with I Toxic. I'm not even kidding. It's spelled Y-Yam-I Tahox-ick. Tip me $1 and says, hello, Phil, longtime viewer, love the stream. That was pretty lame. I'm not going to lie. You're the only tipper for the day so far. So I'm going to put you up with a Y. I'm not going to write out that whole thing because that's just a really stupid name. And it's pretty much a really lame attempt at trolling. But Y can get up there on the leaderboard as the first tipper of the day with $1. So thank you very much. Alrighty then. Let's continue on. Van Clays 009 cheered 50 bits and says, I'm from Bulgaria and I'm signing the petition against Article 13 right now. Good. Whatever you can do, whether it's signing a petition, whether it's directly contacting a lawmaker, right? Whether it's just spreading word amongst your friends and other people you know who use the internet on a regular basis, however it might be, just creating awareness of the situation is better than nothing. Because the worst thing we could do is all sit on our hands and say, oh well, and then, you know, it happens, it passes, and now we're all fucked come April, May. I mean, it would be awful. So there you go. Okay, shout out to Hernadyne, who subscribed to the channel for the 3rd month in a row. He says, I might consider trying to make on-screen notifications for your stream one day. What are your preferred dimensions? What I would say is what you need to do is check out Muxy. This is the program that I use for my stream notifications, my stream animations. Okay? And Muxy has certain criteria. I believe there's a file size. That's the maximum it can use, as well as dimensions. So look it up. I think it's like muxy.io or something is the website. I'm not 100% sure. But you look there, you should have all your details about what the limitations are on what Muxy can play on a stream. Fair enough? All right. All right. Glowing White Face did a 50-bit cheer and says, they just want to make a buck for the least amount of work possible. I believe he is referencing BioWare. Now listen, I want to say something about this. Actually, if you have actually looked at Anthem, I disagree. I don't think that all of BioWare is just sitting around saying we want to do minimum effort and put out a game to make money. I think what it is, if you look at the animations, they're pretty damn good. Okay? If you actually look at some of the shooting gameplay mechanics, they're not bad at all. The problem is, it just seems to me like there's no soul behind the game. Typically in a BioWare game, yeah, you'll have great gameplay, great graphics, paired with an amazing story and a game that feels like it's worthwhile to play. It's an experience like none other. You're going to have this epic journey through the development of characters, through, a plot that will unfold, and it doesn't seem like you're going to get any of that whatsoever in Anthem. That whole element of BioWare games that made their games so unique and special is missing from the game. The game is completely soulless. The animations are great. The graphics are good. The gameplay mechanics might work and be functional and fun for the first couple hours. And then after that, the game will degrade into crap. Grinding. So no, I don't think that they're trying to make a buck for the least amount of work. I think the people who worked on those elements actually have done a really hard job. And if anything, what's going to happen is it's going to be very sad because you have this group of people who are used to working their butts off to put out quality games. They're going to put out Anthem, and their work is going to be pretty much ignored when no one buys the game. Okay? So that's what I mean. Like, it's just very disappointing. This studio that has clout and has a history of great games, and usually people will run out and buy their stuff because of their name, at this point is basically destroying their own reputation, So I don't know what else to say about that. But I certainly don't think it's a game rushed out with low quality just to make a buck. I don't feel that at all, okay? Okay, so now let's get to the 30 people who were gifted subscriptions thanks to Jad F. So thank you very much, Jad F, for the support. Here we go. Spoiled 8919, Overlord Raharu, Spaghetti Frag, DSP Fan Dude, Elric Strife, I Chased a Chubby, Gamey Cards, J Del Fresco, Blow My Mind, Rut the Dioxide, oh my god, Ashi, Fred Power, Froggy 100, Kanji Monster, Some Fat Guy's Arm, Ornites, Coffee Life, Red Rum 2134, CF Zzz, Lee Wanner, Van Clay 009, Baghdad Bob 1, Zach NY 07, Yoyoki 12337, Nivi 3, Sick Leader, Get Good, Hey There Babe. Okay, that's it. That's the 30. So congrats to the 30 people who were gifted subs. What we're going to do now, or you know what? We'll do sub count at the very end because actually someone else subbed too. So we'll do sub count at the very end here and see. I believe we've jumped tremendously just on this stream thanks to this person. So thank you to Jad F for that support. Pretty cool, right? And then while all that was going on, GL has subscribed for 20 months. Thank you, GL, for 20 months of support. That is outstanding and very much appreciated. Judicious Echoes did a 200-bit cheer. Let's get Judicious Echoes up here on the leaderboard as the top cheerer for the day, because indeed Judicious Echoes is the top cheerer. There you go. Okay, so Judicious Echoes did a 200-bit cheer. The issue with Metro Exodus is the Epic Store. It's the lack of support available on it, and it's unproven for a digital storefront and has had issues with updates and corrupted data. Well, there you go. And you know what? Far be it from me to say there's no real issue with the Epic Game Store. That's not what I'm saying. What I've been saying is I don't feel that the drama presented against Metro Exodus because of the Epic Game Store forced launch or whatever the hell you want to call it. Excuse me. I feel that it has nothing to do with the quality of the game at all. Just because a game on PC only, by the way, not on any console or just on PC, you're forced to get it through a certain client. Doesn't mean the game is bad. Doesn't mean that we should pan the game and create a campaign against the game and go on Metacritic and put in 100 negative, user-generated review scores about the game. It's just childish behavior. It really is, at its worst, too. It's childish behavior at its worst to do shit like that. Because all you're going to do is hurt a game and a game studio that might have put out one of the best games of the year, who knows, and they get no attention and no positivity now because some people are butthurt because they have to download a new client to get the game. Pretty fucking stupid. I'm not saying it's not an issue. I'm saying don't destroy the reputation of a game developer or completely wreck a game because of something that has nothing to do with the quality of the game. All right? All right. Swaggins has cheered. He says, after playing the Resident Evil 2 DLCs, I'd say they're pretty fun. New enemies and cool minigame type mechanics. They're actually pretty hard and clearly meant for RE2 pros and speedrunners. Either way, it adds to the longevity of the game for free, so I can't complain. Yeah, certainly not going to complain. Anything for free is good, but for me, it's not that my cup of tea. I'm not a speedrunner. You know, I tried the Hunk Force Survivor mode once, and people told me I actually had gotten pretty damn far. That I just had some bad luck with some zombies grabbing me along the way. But if I had a little bit of better luck, I might have actually even beaten it. But yeah, like, I have no desire to go back and just speed run the game a million times. So that DLCs are just not for me. Okay. Shout out to the League Ranter. The League Ranter, who has subscribed to the channel. Thank you, League Ranter, for the sub. I appreciate that. Why Am I Toxic? Tipped me another $1 and said, don't listen to the detractors. Stay positive, spelled P-A-H, which apparently is another meme. Like, I say the word content. Content. That's how you're supposed to say it. Content. And people say, Phil says, content. K-A-H-T-E-N-T, which I don't. But they've literally fabricated things to become memes for themselves. It's much like how they say my laugh sounds like ack, ack, ack. So when I laugh and I go, or does that sound like ack, 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 ack? No. It sounds nothing like that at all. But they fabricated memes for themselves to laugh at, which makes no sense to anyone who actually has a fucking brain. But when you're brainless, you create things to laugh at. So there you go. You know, it's just so stupid. But anyway, thank you for another $1 tip. And, you know, enjoy your detractor memes and your life of, you know, general liquid brain. I don't know what else to say. Hope that you have corks for your ears so that your brains don't dribble out of your fucking, you know, your eardrums there. Swaggins cheered. He says, so far with Metro, if you could improve one thing, what would you improve? I would say the gunplay feels a little bit too soft. What I mean by that is, you know, look at a game like Black Ops 4. Not to say that I love Black Ops 4, I don't. But you got very responsive controls. You're running, you immediately look down the sights, whoop, your gun pulls up, you can shoot with pretty good accuracy. In Metro, not so much. It feels a little bit sluggish. Like, everything just feels a little bit too loose. I feel like if they had tightened the controls a little bit, but I think they made it too loose because it's supposed to be, oh, you're in the nuclear winter, and you can't react fast because it feels like shit outside, and you're using these makeshift weapons that are garbage, that you piece together from the pieces of other working weapons, and so nothing is supposed to be quick reactionary. Nothing's supposed to be, oh my god, on the fly, you're able to do these amazing, you know, feats of gunplay. I think it was actually an intended game design choice. For me, I do prefer games where you can react a little bit better. For example, Doom. In Doom, on a moment's notice, boom, you just pull out a weapon and boom, blow something away. I like that. And I don't feel like the Metro Exodus has that. It seems a little bit sluggish to me, but. And also, I would say the other thing, it's a little bit tough to figure out what you're supposed to be doing. Like, I knew where my objective was yesterday, and damn it all, if I had any idea what direction to head or how to get there, it come to find out you had to go a long way. You had to basically circle all the way around an island to find, you know, walkways through the water to get to where I needed to go. And I had no idea about that, and it ended up to a little bit of frustration, although it also ended up with me exploring some areas that maybe I wouldn't have checked out if it wasn't for that, okay? So, those would be my suggestions for improvement so far, okay? Hold on a second. What's this? TFWNOBFUW, or W... TFWNOBFUWU. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Did a 100-bit cheer and says, hey, just a question. In the theme of Metro Exodus, would you consider playing any of the Stalker games, like if someone were to donate one? I have no idea. I don't even know what they are. I can't answer that question because I don't know what those games are. If I knew what they were, maybe I would say, oh yeah, I consider it. But I have no idea what Stalker is. So I guess I can't answer that. Okay. 2-Bar King did a 100-bit cheer. Thank you, 2-Bar King, for the 100-bit cheer. Appreciate that. BabyMan Gaming did a 50-bit cheer and said, what is the reason you are not playing Resident Evil 2 DLCs? Already explained that on this pre-stream. I'll explain again. They are not story-based. They are incredibly hard difficulty. They are only meant to be for speedrunners, basically. Challenge runs and speedrunners. They are not worth playing. Essentially, for my intents and purposes in my streaming audience, they're not worth playing. If I were a speedrunner or a challenge runner, yes. But I'm not. Therefore, there's no point. There's your answer. Okay. Swaggins cheered. He says, I had to put the sensitivity all the way up in Metro. It helps a little. Maybe do that. I mean, I could, I guess. And maybe that would make the game better. But at the same time, you know, I purposely play on the defaults most of the time to make sure that I'm getting the intended gameplay experience for what the game devs, you know, put into the game. And yes, sometimes I will adjust on the fly. I think I'd prefer to play the game on default, at least to get the feel for how they wanted you to feel the game was. Now, let's say I continue to play the game and I'm having lots of problems aiming. I'm having lots of problems, you know, with enemies and the like. And I feel like, man, this is just not a fun experience. Then I'll adjust it. But for now, I prefer to stay with what I've got. Okay? So there you go. Knows Nobody did a 250-bit cheer. Thank you very much, Knows Nobody. That makes you the cheerleader. He says, I love your pre-streams. It's always chill. And I like the interaction. Me too, knows Nobody. It feels like, to me, it's a way to open up to my audience, to have cool interactions, to talk a little bit before we get into serious gameplay every day. And, you know, it's for me, it's funny because people say, oh, Phil, you don't do anything on your vlogging channel anymore. You're right, I don't need to. Every day I put out a vlog. It's called the pre-stream, you know. When I became a full-time streamer, things changed, in my opinion, for the better. And I'm enjoying having these kind of interactions with you guys every day before we sit down for 4+ hours of gameplay. We can have a nice, relaxing half hour, 45 minutes of just chatting it up and having fun, talking about the day's events, talking about me and stuff that's coming up. And you know, I love this. I do. I enjoy what I do for a living more than ever before, having this kind of interactivity and having this fun with you guys on a daily basis, rather than just, you know, just play games, which is what it used to be. Sit down, set up camera, play games, you know? All right, continuing on. The Average Democrat did a 100-bit cheer. He says, the sub gap between PewDiePie and T-Series is less than 50,000. Everyone needs to do their part and subscribe to PewDiePie. There you go. Still shilling for PewDiePie. Golf. Tipped $1.01. Says, I think the worst part about Article 13 is that they included a clause where you need a license to watch porn. Okay, then. Well, now that is it. That's the last straw. People are they are already at the lawmakers right now. They're at the front door. They're destroying. They're blowing the doors off the hinges. They're rushing into their offices. You gotta stop this. Oh, you gotta stop this. Oh, oh my God. Anyway, thank you for the $1.01 tip. Ty Holmes 12 tipped me $20. Thank you very much, Ty Holmes. That's the top tip of the day. Let's get you up there on the leaderboard. First of all, before we read anything else here. And by the way, thank you for getting all these troll tippers off the leaderboard. I appreciate that too. Because let's face it, no troll's going to tip above $20. So this will actually be able to stay up there, you know, for a significant amount of time, I feel. So that's a good thing. So up to $23 in tips today. Thank you to the trolls and thank you to Ty Holmes. So Ty Holmes says the following. Any interest in playing MLB The Show 19 at the end of March if it's donated? As a big baseball fan, I enjoyed the first time you played it. Actually, that's a great suggestion. I would say yes, indeed. However, you have to understand one sad thing about this. I can't use music. So the original playthrough, which was, if I remember, the launch year of PS4, I can't use the music anymore in the game. So it would have to be silent. If you're okay with it being no music and just crowd noise, and you'd like to donate the game, yes, I would play MLB. Yes, 100% yes. If you would like that, please, if you're interested in donating, email me at darksidefil@hotmail.com. We can talk details. Typically, when people donate, what they do is they'll buy a digital code off of, say, Amazon. That's a PSN code. And then they'll send me the code at launch, and I'll just install it that way. much easier than say, oh, I'm going to buy a game and ship it to Phil or something like that, which isn't worth it. So that's what I would say. Okay? Very good. Very nice. All right, so thank you very much, Ty Holmes, for the $20 tip. And for the offer to donate a game. Also, you know. Okay, Blue Gaming did a 500-bit cheer with 5 smiley face heart emotes. Thank you very much to Blue Gaming. You are the top cheerer of the day. Let's get you up on the leaderboard. Thank you very much for that contribution. Much appreciated. And thank you for those cool emotes. They're very nice. Baby Man Gaming Cheer says, are you liking Jump Force so far? I guess what I would say is I don't hate it. And I think it's funny. Like, I think the premise itself is silly. And the game itself is having quirks and things that are making it kind of entertaining to watch. So that's a good thing. Am I liking the game to the point where, wow, this is a great game with great gameplay and, you know, no. But at the same time, I'm not saying it's not entertaining. It is. It's still entertaining. So I guess it's serving its purpose so far, right? Okay, Paul Jedi subscribed to the channel for 12 months in a row. Thank you, Paul Jedi, for a year of support. Much appreciated. Why am I toxic? Tip me another $1 and says view count is greater than overdraft credit cards poggers. What the fuck does that mean? How do you overdraft a credit card? What? I think this person was actually trying to insult me in regards to the financial troubles I've been having recently with my bank account. But that has nothing whatsoever to do with a credit card. You can't overdraft a credit card, and you have failed miserably at your attempt to possibly troll me. Poggers. So there you go. But thanks for the tip anyway. So we're up to $24 in tips. What the heck, man? Okay. That Rich Democrat cheered and said, here's 1 bit for every million subs to PewDiePie. He gave me 86 bits. Amazing. Swaggins cheers. He said, you want to play Shenmue 3 in August. When are you going to play Shenmue 2? I think you should do it soon, not because I like the game. I don't, but because if you do too close together, that might be Shenmue overkill. Well, my plans are as follows. I'm thinking one of 3 things. Late April, May, or June. Because if I play it in either of those months, it'll probably take me roughly a few weeks to beat. Excuse me. Yeesh. I don't think there's any RPGs coming out during that time period at all. Okay, that's a good thing. Oh my god, excuse me. Let's try this again. I exploded. Let's try this again. Either April, May, or June, because I think the game is long enough that it'll take a few weeks to beat, and I don't think there's any other RPGs coming out during that period of time. So I should be able to wrap it up in like early summer, like maybe June, July. And then, you know, the new one, Shenmue 3, comes out at the end of August. And let's face it, August, September, October, November, December are insanely busy gaming months. So even when Shenmue 3 comes out, there's no way I'm going to beat it in any relatively short period of time. It's going to be a game that's going to be extended and stretched out over the course of that busy gaming season. So I think we'll be all right. I do. I think we're going to be okay. Okay? All right. The Average Democrat did a 100-bit cheer. He says, honest question, if you ever won $1 billion on the Powerball and you had a kid, would you spoil them and turn them into a Tutankhamun? Be honest. No, I would not. First of all, I'm not interested in having kids at all. So that's number one. You know, it wouldn't be something that I would desire or plan at all. I wouldn't want that, okay? But no, I certainly would not spoil a kid. I would not just hand them a credit card and give them free reign to do whatever they want and think that there's no repercussions. I certainly wouldn't turn them into a chronic liar, which is what Tutankhamun was. First, he said he was a supporter, right, which he wasn't. His whole plan was to basically fuck people over, you know, to try to get back. By the way, I should bring this up, that Tutankhamun did not only do this to me, he did it to other people as well. That basically he gave them a ton of funds, and then he tried to charge them back afterward on purpose to fuck them over. It's not just me that he did this to. So, yeah, this is a guy, a kid, more than likely, who has free reign to do whatever he wants with mommy and daddy's money, comes in and says a bunch of shit, but then basically he's only doing it to get attention for himself. Tutankhamun didn't give two shits if he helped me at all. He wanted attention for himself. He wanted my stream to become the Tutankhamun stream. Now, compare that with Emerald7, who 2 months later came in, gifted a ridiculous amount of subs out. Everyone had a fun tier 3 sub for a month, helped me out tremendously, behind the scenes, and he not once did that person ever make anything about the streams about themselves. Never spoke a word in the stream chat, never contacted me, never tried to get anything from me. That was a person who was genuinely good and wanted to help in any way they could versus an attention-seeking brat. That's the difference between the two, okay? Okay? So, there you go. That's the difference, okay? And no, I would certainly never, ever, 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 promote anyone to be like that, That's bad. That's, you're having a human being who's going to try to live their own life later on, and you won't give them any kind of supervision, no kind of morals, nothing. Here's a credit card, do whatever you want. And then on top of that, like I said, this was a person, they're a chronic liar. Like, after the fact of charging everything back, attempting to get all the funds back, lying and saying, oh yeah, I got everything back. My credit card company just willy-nilly granted me all of this and gave me all my funds back. What a moron. Like, I know for a fact, as someone who over the years has charged back things against my credit card, how the system works. When you have something that you claim is fraudulent or erroneous, the credit card company launches an investigation into it, okay? And the investigation covers many factors, right? What is the realistic situation here that someone could have actually done those charges? Was there actually fraud? Was there some kind of a trick played on someone, right? For example, for me, at one point I had a bunch of charges on my card for a resort in Florida when I was in Connecticut using the same card. Obviously, I wasn't in Florida and Connecticut at the same time. That proves that wasn't me. Those charges on my credit card were reversed. Versus, one time when I moved out here, I bought some furniture at a place. The guy had quoted me one price, had me sign a contract for a single price, charged me for said price, okay? Then later on, a second piece of furniture was delivered, all right? And when that furniture was delivered, they charged me more money, even though he had never told me there would be additional money. So I basically contacted my credit card company and says, I don't want to pay this. And they said, well, we're sorry, we did an investigation. Technically, you accepted delivery of the furniture. So when you accept delivery of the product, it's legal for a transaction to process. Now, if you want to go back to the company and argue with them and say, no, you didn't tell me it was going to be this much, you want to arbitrate with them, that's up to you. But we're not going to get involved in that. That charge stands. You see what I mean? Very different. You can't just go to a credit card company and say, oh, yeah, there's like $20,000 on my credit card. That wasn't me. Take it off, please. And they immediately say, okay, we grant that no matter what. I mean, are you fucking stupid? Yes, I'm sure that's what every company does, and then they all go out of business overnight because they just believe everything. The kid's a liar. The kid's basically a chronic liar and a piece of crap who tried to screw over not me, but a bunch of content creators and streamers all at once. And now doesn't exist anymore. If you mention it, you see, the guy doesn't exist anymore. I wonder why. Okay. Shout out to Devil Size, who tipped me $1 and said, you're hilarious. Thanks for the laughs. And also Cleveland Steamer. A Cleveland Steamer has tipped me $3. Great. Amazing. What a great name. Anyway, let's go ahead and update the tips total. Thank you, everyone, for your contributions so far on today's stream. Now, let us check the sub count, because now we've significantly jumped in subs. We're at 501 subscriptions, everyone. That is awesome. Let's go ahead and update that. 501 subs. Thank you very much, everyone. We are close. We're 24 subs away from hitting the sub goal and doing another retrospective event in March. So, very possible, if people subscribe, we can hit it sooner rather than later. All right, guys? Please consider it. Consider subbing. Okay? All right, everybody.